Okay, gonna be putting my Bull Canyon style knife to work, doing some skinning. This is a good, sturdy, overall outdoor hunting survival type knife. It's got the steel on the back that you can beat on if you need to, sturdy enough to pound on if you need to split some kindling or whatever. It's got a good drop point for field dressing and skinning, so we're gonna go at it. This bugger is cold because he's been dead for a couple days and hanging in the frosty air.
Yeah, he's frozen.
But I've got the right tools for the job. Just be careful not to cut him loose right here.
Right.
That's embarrassing. Never skinned a deer on camera before. Be interesting to see how long it takes. Pine trees in my neck. Nice fat little buck.
Kind of awkward up in that branch like that, huh?
Yeah, a little bit.
But you're getting it done.
Yep.
All right, you're 6 minutes in. You gutted my entire deer in that amount of time yesterday. Definitely takes longer to skin a buck than it does to clean one.
Yeah. Especially when they're cold.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to miss out on the fun of hunting with you. So I figured my deer could wait to skin.
Yeah, I'm glad you came over. I'm really glad you helped me get my buck and wanted me to video you gutting it, so I didn't have to. That was awesome.
Worked out good for everybody.
Yeah, you did a lot faster than I would have.
Truck out of the way. You can
Okay.
keep the camera going so that they know that I'm not sharpening my knife or anything.
There's the knife. It's a beautiful looking knife. Handcrafted by Landon Wardell. What did you say the name of that one was?
The Bull Canyon.
Bull Canyon. Famous Book Cliffs area. He does have some good fat on him, huh?
Yeah, he's in pretty good shape.
Yeah. Really sorry that you asked me to film this so that I can't help you at all. Right up through the brisket.
There's a lot of fat in there, it feels like.
Good.
There we go.
Satisfying when you can peel it a little, huh?
Oh yeah. Can't find where I started. There we go.
You want to say anything about how you make your knives while you're being filmed?
That might be a good idea.
I know you're busy concentrating, but
What do you think people would be interested in hearing?
just process start to finish, how you made that knife.
So this one, well, I do all my knives stock removal, which means cutting and grinding the steel. I don't do any forging or pounding, although I use a coal forge for the heat treat. So I'll order a sheet of steel, the thickness that I want my knives to be, and I will draw whatever pattern I want on the steel, and then I use a bandsaw to roughly cut out the pattern, and then I use a belt sander to grind it down to the profile that I want.
That's how you get the basic shape of the blade, right?
Yep. And then to get the bevel for the blade, I use a combination of a belt sander, a tabletop belt sander, and a handheld belt sander, and a file. Each knife is individually hand filed to a finish. I try to get them as nice and even, uniform looking as I can. After I get the bevel, the profile and the bevel and everything where I want it, I will stamp, well, I'll put my stamp, my logo on it, and I will carve the, I'll use a Dremel to carve the type of steel into the blade, just above where the handle's going to be. And then I'll do the heat treat. I'll build a fire in my little coal forge, and I'll heat up the knife blanks, heat them up to where they're non-magnetic, a dark red, and then I'll dip them in automatic transmission fluid, ATF, and that hardens them. And then
You do that to cool it,
I dip it in that to cool it,
and that hardens it, huh?
which does the hardening. And then after that, I will clean them up a little bit to where I can see shiny steel again, and then I will hold them over the fire and warm them up very slowly so that I can watch the color on the shiny steel. And first they'll turn kind of a brownish gold color, and then they'll be more of a bright gold color, and then they'll turn red, and then kind of a dark purple bluish, and once they get to the color that I want, which is generally a red or blue for a general hunting knife, reddish bluish mix, then I will set the knife aside and let it cool down slowly, and that tempers it. That takes some of the hardness, some of the brittleness out of it, and makes it flexible and tough, so it's not prone to snap while in use, which I've had happen to some of my early knives that I didn't really understand heat treating as well as I do now, and I don't quite have the heat treating down as well as I would like. I'm not perfect at it, but I can do a pretty good job. I've taken some of my knives and beaten them through horseshoes, cut horseshoes, steel horseshoes in half.
Yeah.
I've beat on them and chopped down small trees and still been able to shave.
Punched holes in ice on a lake for ice fishing.
So
General abuse of
general abuse.
any knife, yeah.
things that I don't recommend doing as general practice, but I did to demonstrate the quality that I can make my knives.
Durable, tough, and sharp. And they hold an edge.
Sure glad that you gave me these gloves.
Yeah, it's cold.
This would be miserable without them.
That's a frozen deer hide you're peeling off.
Anyway, after I get the heat treating done, I clean the blades back up, and then I'll usually cut a chunk out of an elk antler and sand it down flat and trace the size and shape of the blade or the handle that it's going to be going on, and glue it on there. Put some brass pins through it to keep it on. I'll hammer over or peen the ends of the brass pins so that they don't slide back and forth, and makes a good solid knife handle. Then I will sand it down, make everything nice and smooth where the antler meets the steel. Try and leave as much character in the antler as I can, 'cause that's cool.
Yeah, that's what people like.
And it helps you hold on to the knife a little better. And after that, the knife receives its own individual serial number, and then I make a sheath for it.
Custom made sheath for each knife.
Custom made leather sheath for each one.
And that buck is skinned. 23 minutes, 31 seconds. Probably a half hour faster than I would have done it.
Get some of this off before I start taking the quarters off. Gloves are warm, but they sure do attract hair.
Yeah.
But I'll take a little hair so that my fingers will keep functioning. Okay, time to quarter him up.
Still nice and sharp.
Yeah, I'm not struggling to use it. So that's where my bullet went in. A little 30-30. He is quartering towards me, and
Open sight 30-30.
yeah. It's accounted for $2 this year.
That's right. You let me use the same gun to take my buck yesterday.
Pretty cool.
Two quarters.
alongside of that big nerve.
Looks like some good backstrap.
Oh yeah. All that fat, I can't tell where the seam for the muscle is.
Yeah, you'll find it. You know, it's work to gut, to skin, to quarter, dress a deer, and butcher it. But a sharp knife sure makes a big difference in making a miserable job an easier one, more enjoyable task.
Yes, it does.
When something's got to be done, you want the right tool to do it, and that Old Canyon knife looks like it's doing a dandy job for you.
It seems to be doing all right.
I've tried to skin and quarter deer with the same knife without sharpening it before, and it wasn't performing near that well, I'll tell you that. I traded off knives and had to stop and sharpen them. And it's going again.
Okay.
So we timed out on the first video, and I wasn't watching the video, so I'm not sure how much time we lost there.
Still haven't sharpened the knife, but it's still going strong.
We started with skinning. Now he's almost done quartering. The knife is still working great.
Should I? Well, can you see that? Well, maybe I'll turn a little bit. So,
Still sharp.
it's still sharp. Hopefully that was a good illustration.
Well, I think you're doing a good job.
Great.
Be careful, you place some good obstacles there for you to step over.
Look at all that fat.
Yeah, it's a nice healthy buck.
Tenderloins.
Now come over there.
Nice. There's some of those obstacles.
Yep. Here's where it gets interesting. You did that just like you planned it that way.
I did plan it that way.
Smart man. I don't know if y'all know, but this is my son-in-law, Landon Wardell. He's the owner, operator, CEO, CFO, business management specialist for Bookcliff Knives. He used to live out in a tent. He's got a tent down in the trees that he has been camping at. Fed me some bacon and some deer heart. It was tasty when I first got here. Crunch.
Okay,
Okay,
I think that's pretty much it.
that's good.
I'll take the saw and split him there and whack these off, and that's pretty much it. Let's see if let's see if we can scrape any hair off.
Alright, let me get, I zoomed in too far. Okay, go ahead.
The wind's blowing stuff around, but
Razor sharp
can
still.
you see that?
And shave the hair off his arm.
There we go, there's a better pile.
Show that knife again. That's one good looking knife. Very useful, very durable, very sharp, very handy.